Well, happy Sunday, if you can say happy Sunday with the week that we've had, all you crazy kids. It's been um, it's been a very strange week, hasn't it? Very, very strange week. Still can't believe that Charlie Kirk has been taken from us. Every day I'm seeing things, videos of him reminding me how great he was. This one's going to really stick with us for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. And then, yesterday we had a march in London that brought me to tears, quite frankly. It was quite amazing to see. And it was also amazing to see Charlie's spirit there. And by the way, there was hardly any arrests. It went off very peacefully, despite what the left wants to tell you about these crazy right-wing maniacs. And then this morning, found out that Ricky Hatton died. If you guys, Americans, don't know who Ricky Hatton is, for Gen Xers, he is a British boxer that we all loved. I mean, we all loved. He was involved in a real golden era of boxing for the United Kingdom. And that's a real blow as well. He was, for all intents and purposes, a fantastic person. So today, again, it's very difficult in a week where you've seen a light be extinguished to be all jolly. I mean, how can you do that? Oh, unless you're a leftist, and then you can celebrate those things because you're ghouls, you're evil people. But if people didn't think that of you before, they do now. And a lot of fringe leftists are done. They don't want to be a part of this evil. And I'm going to get into that in a little while. Firstly, here we go. Honesty and truth in the house. Do a little bit of housekeeping because we are very appreciative of the people that keep this channel going. Honesty and Truth gifted 10 Matthew Marsden channel memberships. Living the Dream, Mufti Tag, multi-tag as well, probably. Craig Brown, EBGXWBF. Why'd you do that to me? I don't know. Stuart Lonnan, Carl G, The Master of Violence, Wiley, Mr. Will, Kawaiko, I don't know. You get a membership from the most awesome and beautiful, may I say, Honesty and Truth, and we're going to do this right now. Honesty and Truth gets the first. I have a feeling there's going to be quite a few of these today. Gets the first sparkly line. Yes, she does. And as if by magic, Honesty and Truth, there's a super chat for £50, 50 English pounds sterling, which I'm not good at math, but I think that's like $1 million. I could be wrong. A pivotal week in the world. The French are writing over 1 million yesterday marching in London. Not according to the press, not according to the lefty press. It was like 5 people apparently. Charlie Kirk's death has touched millions of people. The spiritual war has begun. Buckle up, brace yourself, love one another and pray. That is one of the best super chats I think I've ever had. Amazing. It is strange to feel a visceral change in the world. And I don't know about you, but that's what I felt this week. Like I said, I got my messages were coming in. People are like, I'm done. I am done. Like, it's over. You see people, they've got a little bit more of a steel in their eye. They're like, I'm not dealing with this ridiculousness anymore. Like, this is where it gets you. And it's quite amazing to be around in this era, because if you think back to 9/11, I don't think we'll ever forget 9/11 if you were alive then. It was so weird. It was such a surreal, like, what is going on? Which is similar to this week. But this week was personal. It was personal. The people that died on 9/11, for so many of us, were faceless. There was a lot that knew people that died on 9/11, but for the majority of people, it was this event that happened that was horrendous. It was almost like your brain couldn't deal with it. It was like information overload to see a plane going into a building. Like, what? You can't even believe it. It was just like a movie. And then see him coming down. But what did the world do? Well, firstly, it came together. I started studying Islam after 9/11 because I saw people celebrating in the streets. And I was like, hang on a minute. There was a bunch of Muslims who were killed on 9/11. Why are you celebrating? So I studied Islam. Now, when Charlie was killed, it was public. It was very gruesome. But that guy was an innocent. He was the best of us, really. I mean, I don't know about you, but I look sometimes and I go, how does he have the patience to deal with these people? And that comes from a massive amount of love. And this is what people don't understand about Christians. We are told to love our enemy. Love our enemy. And that's really difficult sometimes. It's certainly been difficult over the past few days. I have changed my view on debating, for sure, because I was one of the silly people that thought that you could debate these things and talk it out. Well, you can't. You can't. And that's always, somebody's at my door. That's always thinking the best of someone. Well, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm still loving them, but I'm not thinking the best of them. Because I think that what you should do is take people by their word and take people by their behavior. And by us ignoring that, a man is now dead. All right, so let me take one sip of my Crockett coffee before I continue. What I do want to do is I want to be more like Charlie. I want to be calmer. And I think that before, one of the reasons why I would get so passionate about things is because I've been saying a lot of this shit for a long time. I've been saying things because I don't want people to get hurt. It's like a dad with their kid. You go, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, don't walk in front of the swings. Don't walk in front of the... Walks in front of the swings. Tears. Tried to tell you. How many times was I told that I was a whiner for talking about getting cancelled in Hollywood? Guys, I'm sorry. Wait, look at what he's bought me today. I don't know where he gets these from. He's bought me Donald Duck. Right. Is it Donald Duck? Yeah, go take Donald Duck. All right, Archer, go on. Go on. It's, oh, you little monkey. Just knocked my book off my desk. It's always a surprise. You guys don't encourage him. I don't know where he's got that from. 1 second. That dog is crazy, honestly. We are in a, we're in a, just the most bizarre situation. And I'm committed to, being a better man, looking internally and seeing how I can be different. And that this goes back to what I was saying earlier. I spoke out about getting cancelled in Hollywood. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Because it wasn't them. Because, oh, well, you got the money. Why should we care about you? Well, that was silencing. Even though it might have been on a little scale, you don't know. I don't know if I would have got a really, really giant movie, and then it only takes one for you to pop, and then all of a sudden you have a platform. But I'll tell you what does happen is if they shut you up, then you don't have a platform, and that echoes through the industry and shuts other people up so they won't talk. So you can shrug about it. And that's one of the reasons why I was so vocal about COVID, because the people that were standing up and saying, I want a choice, they were silenced. And there's a pattern here. They were silenced, and then the left called for them to be fired, called for them to not have health care, to be denied treatment. Remember that? So all that was just a precursor for what we just experienced. They want you dead. They want you dead. This is not hyperbole, right? We know this now. Don't take it as if it's something that won't happen to you. And I think that what happened with Charlie was it made a lot of people realize that he was a virtuous man that people looked up to. He was the best of us. And again, I'm not one for hyperbole. I don't get on anyone's bandwagon. I've told you when people talk about Trump, I'm like, yeah, he's a flawed guy. He's got his issues, but I recognize them, and that doesn't bother me. Interestingly, I had a comment today from a friend of mine who said, my kids told me that they didn't realize that Charlie Kirk was a political figure. They just thought he was a Christian. Think about that. Because, again, by being a Christian, you are deemed as a political figure by the left, because they have to label you. Spider Unlimited in the house, £10. Oh my gosh, dude, I am not going to cry on this show. Words can't describe Mass this morning. Not only did the priest speak a good message, but the amount of people that showed up, the pews were packed. People were standing in the aisles and through the lobby. It's hard to say that someone's death really can lead to so much good. It's hard, isn't it? But, if you are a Christian, you understand that Charlie's looking into the face of God right now. And that doesn't soften the blow to his family and to his friends, one of which was around my house last night. But it's the only way it makes sense. And I think a lot of people have kind of figured that out now. And a lot of that is to do with what I've said over and over on this channel, is you have to get involved. I started this channel and said to people, please come over, show me that you're engaged. Did I not say it? Did I not talk about the need for community and that it would build organically? Because something would happen and we would need each other. Did I not say that? Again, you don't have to be some kind of a prophet. You just have to think through the consequences of what is going on. And so many people haven't been affected by the radical left personally. Well, when they do an article you on a newspaper or in a magazine and all of a sudden you don't get any phone calls anymore for work, that's personal. But it was insidious because there was no way that I could fight back. All right, there was no way. And for years and years and years, I didn't say anything. I want to read you something. I've been reading this amazing book. I would really highly recommend everyone getting it. Okay. I don't have a link. It's not about that. Just go get it. And by the way, you can't get it from Amazon. Funnily enough, if you go for books like this from Amazon, they're like $100. This is $14. And I want to read something to you. All right? I'm going to read something to you and then we're going to talk about something else. There is no such thing as a virtuous nation, a virtuous family, or a virtuous organization. There are only virtuous individuals. Nevertheless, virtue abhors individualism. I just read this, I've been going on about this, about the rugged individualist and look, it's just proof you can teach an old dog new tricks, or you can discover something and you're like, okay, well, that person is vocalizing what I wanted to say in a way that perhaps I didn't know how to say it. No one becomes better in isolation. If I am courageous, it is probably because I have seen manifestations of courage in my parents, friends, or colleagues. Moreover, when I do the courageous thing, I stimulate others to do the same. My self-improvement and the self-improvement of those around me are inextricably linked. Thus, when lived out in practice, every virtue has a social dimension. Now, I'm going to read on a little bit more because this is really important. So that tells you this community, we've already got it. We've already had this support network already between the little community we've built on YouTube. And how many times did people tell me, why are you on YouTube? Why don't you go to Rumble? And what did I say? I said, I want to do it because people need to hear the message. They need to hear the message outside of the echo chamber. And again, I was right, because we've got to be able to reach other people. Now listen to this. This is really important. The separation that progressives advocate between public virtues, which they extol, and private virtues, which they despise, does not hold water. They use public virtue to indicate qualities pertaining to how the individual relates to society, such as justice. The distinction is unfortunate because justice is inextricably linked to all the other virtues. If I'm not prudent, courageous, and temperate, it is highly unlikely that I will be just. Many politicians lacking courage make a travesty of justice. Think of Pontius Pilate and his brand of justice. I could find no substance in any of the charges you bring against him, Jesus. So I will scourge him. He was the frightening logic of a coward. All right. We got to take this stuff really, really seriously. We got to take it really seriously. We got to take the way that people behave in their private life and the way that they say they behave in their public life. You cannot separate them. And yet we let people get away with it. You know, we let if you look at all the gaslighting the left has done for us, like Rachel Levine being the head of, Department of Health or whatever. It's just massive gaslighting. If it's not gaslighting, it's in some way trying to affect your mental health. So, we have to work on ourselves. As I said right there, you can't do these things. Charlie was a massive influence to a lot of people, but a lot of people were completely complacent that he was there. They would see the big crowds, but they wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't support him or support people like him. They wouldn't get engaged. This all ends when you decide that it ends. I've said this 1,000 times on here. I don't like being the guy that says the things that are true that come true. And this is about you. It's not about anybody else. It's about you. I keep saying the smallest thing, subscribe. Teeny tiny. People are like, I'm not doing that. Well, okay, all right. Okay, why? Why? Why not? Oh, because I don't want to give my money to YouTube. Okay, all right. Any other excuses? Because you give YouTube your money anyway. You know what I'm saying? This is the silliness. They still see, if you're there watching YouTube, which a lot of people do anyway, they lie. They're still getting the money. But what you're doing is you're not putting your backing behind someone who wants to reach other people. You can't build on it. Honesty and truth on a tear today. A post on the internet, the figures of JFK, MLK, Lincoln, Charlie, and Jesus, it said killed for saying words. We're old, but don't lose faith. God's army is strong, and others will appear to help. Honesty and truth is going to take some beating today. I can tell you that. Because these posts are amazing. So, I'm going to give you a couple more examples that I've said before that very few people listen to, but maybe they will today. If your child turns up to a school that has a blue-haired freak in there and you don't know exactly what that person is saying to your kid, and if you find out that there's anything that is out of the ordinary, you better pick at that school and you got to make sure that that person is gone. Do you understand? If your kid is on a team, doesn't matter whether it's club, whether it's your high school, your college, and they say, oh, this man is a woman and this man is going to now come and shower with you. If you don't pull your kid out of that college, it's on you. Do you want to go through life? Do you think you've got to go through life with no sacrifices? This thing that pisses me off. People just don't care. Like, they don't realize the danger that people are in that speak out, that talk like this. Scrummy Wummy says, how much do I have to super chat for you to sing the Heart, Slow and Desire for us? $100. That's cheap, by the way. If you do not stop shopping at the places that hate you, all these things are things that you can do. And if you don't do them, do you understand that they're going to keep going? Do you understand that? Because what the left has done is they are dominating. Have you seen that? It's like an army of people going, the shooter was a Republican, a conservative, and then put even fake T-shirts of him wearing a Trump. Like, this is, I thought it's gay pride, right? What about gay pride? You're not proud of that guy? You're just like throwing him away. When you are not of use to them, they discard you. That's the difference. Why aren't they all proud of it? Unfortunately, some of them are proud. Oh, Tanya, I love my flattery. Thank you very much. This is a lot to do with engagement, and this is the challenge I'm going to give you. We are coming up to holidays now, right? In a few months. We're coming up to holidays. And I'm calling on every single person that follows me and every single person that is watching this on X and on YouTube. Firstly, come over, like, subscribe, or don't. I don't give a shit anymore, right? If you can't see what time it is, I don't know what to tell you. I've tried to convince you. This is going to continue. I want every single person to commit to me right now that if you hear the phrase, that is my truth, that you will stop and you'll say, excuse me, no, there is no such thing as my truth. There is only the truth. Now, can I get a commitment from all the people here? I want a commitment from the 1,000 people that are watching right now to be disagreeable, to be at the dinner table at Thanksgiving, and when you hear something, respectfully, instead of biting your tongue because you want everything to go well, you say, excuse me, you know what, I've listened to this for so long, I think we should have a debate about it. And you get furnished with all the facts, and you channel Charlie, and you say, all right, I'm going to give you the floor, I'm going to listen to you. Well, he spread hate. Okay, right. He spread hate, did he? Give me an example of it. Oh, he said that gays should be stoned. Let me give you the context of that. If you'd like, I'll go and search it. And take the time. Take the time to do it. Because there's something that really resonated with me when I was looking at this absurd situation where this killer is living as a relationship with a trans man, woman, man. I don't know. The dude's a man. It's a man, right? Which makes the shooter gay. Can we just say it? Can we just stop with the bullshit? That doesn't mean that all gay people kill people. It doesn't mean that all gay people are bad. We have to use the right words to describe people. No, it doesn't mean that everyone gay is a bad person. You know, listen, if more gays, I've said this about Muslims, if more gays came out and went, hang on a minute, which by the way, the old school ones are doing that, they go, hang on a minute, don't put that on us. That's nothing, we condemn it. But you know why they don't? It's the same reason why Muslims, peaceful Muslims, don't come out and condemn the radicals. Because they feel isolated, they're on their own. And they'll be shunned by their community and maybe even have violence committed against them. That's the truth. So it's up to us. Okay? Start saying, no, you're wrong. That's not what that is. If you'd like to debate me about it and talk about it, let's get to the brass tacks, because I don't want to be wrong. So you explain to me where I'm wrong, because I really want to know. Stop letting these things go. Because what you are doing is you are enabling people in their dysfunction. I have said this on this podcast, this YouTube show, whatever, for months now. Months and months and months. Kids, the kids of today, anyone below the age of 30, has been raised in a very different world than Gen X up. A very different world. We can't even imagine the pressures that are on them. So, again, being a Christian, being a Catholic, my words come from a place of love. What if someone was abused? What if someone was lonely? What if someone didn't have someone to talk to? What if they weren't protected? There are a lot of things, there are a lot of environmental factors that impact these kids. And outside of those things, you got like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I know I still call it Twitter. And YouTube. So when people go, why are you on YouTube? This is why. Why did Charlie go out and talk to people who he disagreed with? Because he got through to a lot of people. But he didn't do it by being a pussy. He faced them. He's a warrior, a happy warrior. But what did he do? He dismantled their arguments, and all their arguments are ridiculous. And again, the problem is what you'll see now is people will have an argument from authority, like say, oh, my doctor said this. My teacher said that. And then they'll go, okay, well, let me speak to your doctor, to your teacher. And then they'll refer you to some kind of peer-reviewed journal, which was written by a lefty, or was reviewed by a lefty, or was funded by a lefty. Do you see how that goes? So there's very few real sources of authority anymore. And one of the reasons for that is because we've just let them get away with it. Because we've been too busy. Let me tell you something. There's nobody, I'll tell you this. Put your hand up if you have more kids than me on this thread. Put your hand up. All right, so you can do it. Starts, you can say Thanksgiving's the day. That's it. But you have to do it with love. You cannot do it with spite, with anger, with vitriol. Be like Charlie. So Imagine you're growing up and you're a young man and you don't feel like you belong. And this is something that's pretty much true. I think if I asked everybody on this thread, that they would say at some point in their life, they didn't feel like they belonged. It's funny because if you look at a movie like The Breakfast Club, where you had the jock, you know, you had the rocker, you had all these different, eventually you find your people. But what's been perpetuated in society now is if you don't feel like you belong, that's because there's something wrong with you. Not like you're just different, and that's good to be different. You're a deep thinker. You're not an extrovert. That's okay. You don't play football. That's not your thing. That's okay. We've been forced into this kind of, and the left loves it. Left loves categorizing people. But we've been forced into choosing a box to step into, and that's just wrong. And you're told that you're wrong, right? Like there's something wrong with you. No. God doesn't make mistakes. There's nothing wrong with you. But because no one's stepping up and saying that, there's nothing wrong with you. Suck it up. All right, you're not good at football. How about swimming? Oh, you're not good at swimming, you're not very athletic. What about playing the flute? Or, whatever it might be. We don't have that anymore. It's, oh, you're wrong. Oh, it must be something to do with the fact that you are not a boy. You're really a girl. I mean, what the hell? This is, guys, for those of you younger than Gen Xers, nobody thought this growing up, right? Like nobody thought this in the world. Honesty and truth in the house again. I told you on a tear. Do people not understand that your soul is so precious, can't be destroyed? You'll be judged by your actions when you leave this earthly plane. Treat others as you want to be treated. It's simple. This is the weird thing. We treat them, the other side, the left, with respect and dignity, and they totally don't treat us with dignity and respect. I can't imagine laughing over someone being murdered like that. So, you got to become disagreeable, guys. You've all got it inside you anyway. You've just been pushing it down. You're not the good guy for not saying anything. Zephyr again. Oh, Zephyr in the house today. God bless Zephyr. $10. RIP and Godspeed, Charlie. Your shoes cannot be filled, but your torch will be carried. Zephyr, people were saying to me, oh, who's going to replace Charlie? I went, nobody. And millions. Can't replace him. The left has chosen hate. And it is a communist tactic for them to say that we're the haters. Now, people get a little bit bent out of shape when you talk about hate. But hate, like any other emotion, can be a very positive one. Hate isn't always bad. Hating evil is a good thing. If you loved evil, then you got a problem. So hating evil and wanting to eradicate it is a good thing. So we have a bunch of confused people. We have a bunch of over-medicated people. We have a bunch of people that never had their ass spanked in their life. And that is and by the way, a bunch of stupid people. So you got stupid people or people that are manipulators. Either way, it's not good. So now, this is the time where you have the wind behind you. You have Trump. You have the groundswell of public opinion, popular public opinion. And I want to tell you guys, you'd be really surprised if you engage someone respectfully, how that might turn out. If I told you that they might never speak to you again, you wouldn't be surprised. But if I told you that someone would say, you know what, I really respect you, so I'm listening to what you're saying. I've done that with my friends who I told you, I was like, hey, I'm Catholic. I know you guys don't think we're Christians, which is ridiculous, but let me talk to you about this. And they sat and listened to me, and they said, we pretty much believe 95% of the same things. I was like, yeah, but you didn't think that, did you, when we started this conversation? He went, no. Charlie's death, I don't think will ever go out of my head. I really don't. I don't know if you guys feel like that, but it feels so personal to me, and I never met him. Isn't that weird? Isn't it strange how he reached so many people? And guess what? He touched people all over the world. Unbelievable. Cassie MH48 said, my 16-year-old told me kids cheered at school when they found out about Charlie. This is just so disturbing. It's so disturbing. If someone went out and shot Joe Biden tomorrow, I'd be like, that is a despicable act. And we are better than this. By the way, you know, some of the leftists saying they don't mean it. They don't mean it at all. They've just doubled down on the... Oh, by the way, here's the other thing. I want you guys, if anyone says white supremacy, Nazi, fascist, you call them on it. All you got to do, if it's on X, go explain to me how he's a white supremacist. You say, that's not true. Just correct them. Just correct them. Or if it's at school or whatever, just stop very calmly. Tell your kids, that's not true. Say it. Say it. It stops when you decide it that it stops. You know what they've said about Trump? Oh, he didn't really get shot. Really? Some guy died. A hero, actually, died. But it was fake. What? They're doing it right now. They're doing it. Oh, wow, did you see? He's a Republican. He's a Christian. Just see what they're doing, right? And you march into your HR department at your work and say, I want this person removed. Because you know what? They do it to you. If you even said, I'm not having his, her pronouns, he, him pronouns, or her, she, that, I mean, I don't even, it's just all so ridiculous. They were trying to fire people, or they were firing people because they were like, I'm not doing that. So you at least can walk in and say, an American was killed, and that person is celebrating. I want them fired. Because you know what? Not doing that has got us nowhere. And as I've told you before, it's asymmetrical warfare. It's all right for me to get canned off a movie, but there is other actors that can spit their poison or what? And by the way, I would never have said anything. If they would have left me alone, nobody would have known anything about my politics. That they can go on, spew their venom. And by the way, again, let me reiterate to you. They have marketing departments that push their social media reach and put millions of dollars behind it. So that's the point. One of the other points when I say, just come over and click, just come over and subscribe. Re-up your membership. I had some people, I'm like, hey, you know what? I told you that. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not asking anyone anymore. I'm just done. I'm not posting that on X anymore. Someone was like, I don't go on X. I mean, I don't go on YouTube. Well, maybe you should, huh? Maybe you should. In this one instance, maybe you should. Is it some kind of like virtuous abstinence you're doing? Because if it is, you better not have Starbucks coffee in your coffee pot. It's all cosplay bullshit. And now is the time to change it. You know what? I'm going to give a plug now. This Over Mountain Club from Crockett Coffee. Taylor, but you guys know me. I drink coffee all the time. I've been drinking. I was drinking this coffee and I got a call and it was Buck Sexton and he says, I want to sponsor your show. Because Buck, Clay and his brother Mason started this company called Crockett Coffee. It is a patriotic coffee brand. It is roasted here in the United States using the finest beans by a father and son combo. And in addition to all that awesomeness, and by the way, it tastes amazing. And if anyone's got one, anyone bought one now, Mike D's got his Crockett Coffee and he loves it. If you go over there and you put Matthew 20 in there, then you will get 20% off the entire site. So normally that's where Zephyr comes along. See, look at that. I didn't even have to say it. And this is someone who was in a hospital bed this week. These are my people. Gotta love them. And they also give let me just check how much it is that they give of their profits to Tunnel to Towers. 10% of net profits to Tunnel to Towers. So look, it's a great product. It really is very good. I got all of them. I got all the coffees. I got the medium roast. I'm not a medium, I'm a large, but I'll take the medium roast. And it's all really good. Genuinely really good. And now what we got to start doing is supporting the brands that are on our side. You got to start doing it. They got a great cap as well. Look at this. I got merch all over. Got a cap here. Oh, something just dropped. Crockett Coffee. This is interesting. Joan Lovelace is trying to send a super chat and he won't go through. Joan, you have done so much for this channel. Put up what you want. You don't have to super chat. It's one of those days. You know, you are, you're amazing. So yeah, please support this. These guys are great. They reached out to me. They were like, we want to support you. Buck knows my story. And he was like, no, we want to come and support you. And again, like I said, for those of you that remember, I did ask, I said, hey, listen, I don't really want to take sponsorships on the show. And everyone was like, get your sponsorships, build the show. So I did. But yet, it's very good. And by the way, the kids haven't chipped this cup. I'm going to be really mad if they chip this cup. But again, right now, I am working on temperance, trying to be a better man. Go get this book as well. Go get this book. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Heather, oh, she's blocked for too many super chats. I don't even think you can do that, can you? Can you be blocked for too many super chats? Sandy Medway. Oh, I love this. Like, Sandy's there and she's like, this is for Joan. She's stepping in and she's going to super chat for Joan. Sparkly line for you. Yes. Sandy, is that your first sparkly? No, it's not your first sparkly line, is it? You might have had sparkles. I'm giving, you know what? I'm giving everybody the sparkly line right now. You all got the sparkly line. We're together and people are figuring it out. And the more that we stand together and the more that we push back with kindness, this stops. But I am going to tell you something. They're going to get more and more and more desperate. More and more and more desperate. I thought not. I thought you got one before, Sandy. All right. Opening up the floor to questions and super chats. Questions and super chats. So come on, guys. Oh, get it. Yeah, get it, Lisa. Get it. Get it. It's really great. It will really resonate with you. It talks about humility, magnanimity. I can never say it. And the different temperaments, the different virtues. And so different virtues, you know, prudence and temperance and all that. Oh, get out. Spider got Crockett coffee K-cups. Oh, yeah. Lots of sparkly lines with the claps. I don't care. Sparkly lines, Crockett coffee. Tanya Fabregas, you are so sweet, and I'll take it all day long. Why are you so handsome? I don't know, Tanya. Please tell me more. I'll take it. I'm an old man now. I'm 52 years old. I'm 52 years old. Oh, by the way, so right now, get your, you know, look at that, Janelle Cruz. Janelle, you beat me to it. So I am going in for my surgery probably next Friday. All right. So are you going to miss me? Because I don't know if my like vanity will stop me from coming on with a soft collar like this, going, hey, you know, I've got to reach over there for the sparkly line. I don't know. That would be like, oh, thank you very much, darling. Head and shoulders. It's not at all. But which ones? What did I get? Right here, I've got French roast. I think that's the one that I like. Dark roast or whatever. Thank you very much, MG1787US. I'm loving my compliments. I got to tell you, I'm loving them. I'll take them. I don't care. I don't care. More Crockett coffee. Yeah, so probably next week. So I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. Are you ready? They are going to cut a hole there. Open it up. No squeamish people. Move everything over to one side. Then they're going to drill in like that. And then open up my vertebrae. Take the disc out. Put new disc in. Let go. And then they go to the next one up. And they drill in. Open it up. Take the disc out. Put new disc in. Bionic Matt. Bionic Matt. Oh my gosh. Hey, Joan, you know what? Why don't you log out and go? Are you on the phone or are you on the computer? If, you know, whatever, like log out and then come back. Here's the thing. I was talking to my friend the other day and he was like, "Oh, yeah, I had that surgery done." And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I nearly died. They nicked my jugular and I had to have 7 blood transfusions, but I'm alive." If he's on here, he knows who it is. That's so funny, right? And I was like, "Great." I know, yeah, yeah, I know bending. I can't. It's you know what the replacement discs not that bad. I've got to be seated in bed like at a 45-degree angle. Obviously, I can't have any of my kids coming into bed like they do and kick me in the head. That's why I'm a little bit stupid because I get kids kicking me in the head a lot. But I'm gonna have to go to one of my other bedrooms and close the door and be away from everybody. So if I feel good enough, I'll come on and I'll give you an update. All right. Because I honestly, what is really what I feel really sad about is not doing these lives. I feel really I'm really gonna miss you. You know what I mean? These conversations, seeing my people coming up. It's what are the discs made of? So what they do is they have, I don't know if it's like titanium or whether it's just a metal. And what they do is they cut 2 lines into the vertebra like that, and then they slide the metal in, and then they put some kind of I don't know, silicon in between. No, no Archer kisses. Can't have any kisses from Archer. I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what he's going to do. He just sits there like that. He was doing this last night. He sits there, he comes up to me and he goes, he's very dramatic. You can tell he's an actor's dog. He goes, that's what he does. He just looks at me. Yeah, Chris, don't let them sneak a microchip. Hardy Harmonica, here's a funny thing. I actually wrote a screenplay called Wireless, and it was about a guy that had a chip put in his head. And let me tell you something. It wasn't good. It was a horror script. I should dust it off, actually. Yeah, you know what? Archer's going to be he's going to be a little bit like, what's going on with Dad, isn't he? You know what I mean? I wonder if they can sniff and fit, sometimes they can sense something's wrong. And I've got to tell you, I went from not being, it's not that I wasn't a dog lover, but I love this dog. I just adore this dog. He's got such a great temperament. I mean, you've seen him. I seriously, you've seen, I don't call him. He comes in when he wants. He always brings me something. He's like, "Dad, look at what I killed. I killed Donald Duck." He's so funny. But I understand why people get upset when their dogs die now. I really do, because I really love him, and he's a great companion, and he is my dog. You know what I mean? He's chosen. He's like, "Dad, Dad," like, "Rrr." And I've got to tell you something as well, though. So my buddy Matt Peterson, I was actually going to have him on today. I might do an interview with him. But I went round to his house on Saturday. He knew, actually not Saturday, on Friday. He knew Charlie Kirk really well. I think I told you guys, he actually, Charlie Kirk pulled him up on stage not that long back and said, "Dr. Peterson taught me all I know." I mean, of course, that wasn't true. But he was, again, so humble and gracious. But I'm sitting there talking to Matt, and he's got a Boston Terrier. And this Boston Terrier, I kid you not, guys, he runs, and I'm sitting here talking to Matt, and there's a patio doors there, and this dog just runs full on and jumps, boom, into the patio door. Matt doesn't even move. He's carries on talking to me, and I'm like, that dog is a mental case. What? And he goes, "Yeah, he just likes making the noise," and he's boom up again, and I'm watching him like a cartoon, I mean, they've got that smushed up face anyway. So funny. All right, any questions? Crockett Coffee. I have to say, this is going to be a bit of an admission right now. You know what I should do? I should do Marsden Confession Hour, where I have you guys come on and you can tell me all the things that you did that you're not proud of, and you're just sharing it with like the world. I mean, but although cats are mental, right? They're like meh. I do kind of like them. They're a little bit like, I'll do what I want to do, and I can relate to that. Tanya, stop it. I can't. I'm married. Joan Lovelace, I've got to pull this up. Joan Lovelace celebrates 9 months of membership. Matthew, my twin sister, had the same surgery and bounced right back. You're in our prayers. Thank you. Yeah, I know a lot of people have had it done. It's just like my... Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you this, Lisa, because Lisa, you're going back to church, right? If you go to confession, if you're baptized Catholic, or if you're not baptized Catholic, this is not relevant to you, but you can... once you become Catholic, you can do this, is when you go into the priest, just go, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been, I did it once. It was like, it's been 20 years since my last confession. And you go, I did, bum, 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 bum. Like, don't get into it. It's not a counseling session. Just say your stuff, say what you did, and then go, and then he'll absolve you of your sins. But he'll do it in the place of Jesus. He's doing it on behalf of Jesus. Because Jesus already knows. It's just a process. And I'll tell you this, you do feel different when you come out. Yep, just crank it out. Crank it out. All right, guys, come on. I've got. How do I use my anger over Charlie? I've been pissed off and I can't shake it. This is a really good... I'm going to put this up. I like Tanya's like, only kidding. But are you? Eric Park says, how do I use my anger over Charlie? I've been pissed off and I can't shake it. You got to channel it, right? Because as I said earlier, people go, hate is a really negative emotion. Well, not really. Hate can be positive. It can have a positive end, right? Anger, people go, oh, if you're angry, that's a bad emotion. It's not at all, actually. It's how you apply it. So you're angry. What are you angry at? Think about this. What are you angry at? Are you angry about the fact that he was taken? Are you angry at the fact that he was a good man and he didn't deserve it? Like try and maybe even just write down all the things that are making you angry. And then say, okay, I'm angry and I'm righteously angry, which you probably are with all those things. I know I've been. I can't get it out of my head. But then go, okay, what do I do about that? And what would he want? And why do I feel that angry? Because he was such a good man. Am I that good? Do I need to be more like him? And he was trying to be as close to Jesus as he possibly could. So, there's that link. And then channel it. Say, you know what? I'm going to make sure that there's none of this ridiculous ideology at my local school. I am going to, as I said earlier, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to talk at the dinner table on Thanksgiving when someone spouts their bullshit. But get dialed in. Get dialed in. Charlie could get up and he was so effective, right? Because number one, he's very charismatic, like super charismatic. He was actually very gentle, but also he brought receipts. So study. Go out and learn the facts. and pick up the mantle, dude, even in your own little way. And that anger will be focused and driven. Vinzinger just said, I accidentally damaged the microwave with a metal bowl, and oh, how I shouldn't have done that. Let's be honest, though, it does look like Star Wars when you do that. I mean, at least pull up a chair when you put a metal bowl in. I think that going back to what I was saying earlier about 9/11, I think that Charlie's death was more impactful because it was so personal. Like I said, everyone felt it. Everyone's feeling it really personally because it's such a waste, right? It's destroying something beautiful because truth and beauty go hand in hand. And like I said, if you hear anyone, even if you're walking down the street, say, well, my truth, just stop and go, excuse me, there's no such thing as my truth. My truth is you're an idiot. What about that? Well, that can be your truth. Okay, all right, you're an idiot. Don't get upset at me. It's my truth. You see what I'm saying? So it's a leftist ploy. It sows confusion. Guys, you cannot be a woman if you are a man. You can't. You can't be a man if you're a woman. That's it. It's very simple. We didn't grow up with this insanity. We grew up with these very basic biological facts. They weren't even contested, right? Nobody ever debated that. If someone said, well, I don't think that you're a man. I mean, they might say it in another way, right? But like, I don't think that I think that a man can be a woman. People would have gone, you're just an idiot. Like, go away. They wouldn't entertain it. And unfortunately, guys, let them say it. Let them say it. But you argue the point. Okay, if you die tomorrow and you're buried in the ground and, 200 years later they dig up your bones, how are they going to know whether you're a male or a female? Or can they know if you're a male or a female? The answer is yes, because it's either XX or XY chromosomes. They can even look at your brain. They can even look at the density of your bones and the size of your bones. Well, they couldn't look at your brain, right? Because you'd be all rotted, but you know what I mean. They can look at a brain and see that it's a different size. They can look at your hips and they can tell that the women's hips are bigger. Men's hips are narrower. I mean, all this stuff, it's such bullshit and it's so damaging. And I told you guys, you got to fight every single inch. Every inch. You cannot let it go anymore. We're not calling it a manhole. We're calling it a person hole. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's ridiculous. Manhole, 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 manhole. Now you see how important it is to do that fight. As I said to you guys the other day, people go, just let them go, Matt. Why are you? I'm like, no. They said this and I want you to prove to me. Prove to me what you said. Like when they call me a racist, okay, all right, you call me a racist. What have I said that's racist? Now, if you're an authentic person, you don't have to lie. And so if you don't have to lie, then you don't have to remember the lies. So all you do is you stay completely in line with who you are. So I know I'm not a racist. So I know they can't find anything racist that I've ever said. Do you see what I'm saying? They can't call you on it if you are authentic. It's only these frauds that panic. We have a super chat from One Cody Awesome. Just because, thanks for being awesome and choosing to be constructive instead of destructive or destructive. I can't give memberships from my phone, but there are always other ways to contribute to a great community. Cheers, brother. God bless you, Wonko the Awesome. God bless you. My people. My people. Rage, I imagine that's what you mean, is R4GE. Trudeau wanted to say people can't. This is all communism. This is all communism. It's all communism. Like I said, I know this might sound stupid. Get your Crockett coffee. Don't get Starbucks. If it costs you a little bit more, well, you're getting a better product anyway. So just do it. These just little things, right? Like you see, the same people in my chat do the same. They're pumping the super chats and pumping out the memberships. And what I'm asking is for people to get involved. You know why? Because then you have skin in the game. Guess what? We all have skin in the game from this week. Everybody does. I don't want to sit here and say, hey, do you know what? Like, we got to be careful because they might go on a murderous rampage. We all know, let's be honest, that that's what all the protests in the UK are about, right? We know that at some point there are going to be murders in the streets. And it's not going to be from the far right. Was there any looting in London yesterday? They burned down any stores. What about, has there been widespread looting? No, do you know what you've seen? Stadiums full of people, arm in arm, praying. Praying. The amount of kids that have been affected by this, and you have taken something away from them. Again. You know what? Watch this. Let's do a thought experiment. When I was growing up, the girls that I knew, and some of the guys, right? But the girls I knew, the majority were either like Duran Duran fans or Wham fans. A bit. If you're a little bit quirky, you like Spandau Ballet, but they were like kind of like, okay. But you're not really like the juggernauts like Duran Duran or Wham. Those were the big artists. And before that, it was the Beatles and the Stones, right? I mean, that continued through even our era. And even to this day, like, you know, who do you like, Beatles or the Stones? It kind of defines who you are. Who are you? In the UK, it was like, are you a Ford guy or are you a Vauxhall guy? Which is basically, are you Ford or GM? Same here. What do kids today have? What is their like defining cultural moment? They don't have artists of that quality anymore. We see a little bit with soccer teams, you know, baseball teams, football teams. But the kids now, they don't have it like we do. They've been like bombarded with this shit. They're bombarded with it. You saw it a little bit with like the Avengers, that, you know, are you a Marvel person or are you a DC person? Because people want to belong to something. And what Charlie did was people wanted to belong to something that was actually really wholesome. And also really badass, actually, because he was smart and he could debate, but he was respectful, but he pretty much smashed everybody that he came up against. And these kids who had their childhood taken away by COVID, who missed all these opportunities to go to the state finals with the sports and, you know, graduate or even hold the hand of their grandmother or grandfather as they died. These kids have now had the one guy that they looked to taken away. And in that moment, you radicalized millions and millions and millions of kids. And the thing about Charlie Kirk is he's on YouTube. He's all over YouTube. And he will always be all over YouTube. So he will always be 31 years old. His arguments are timeless. He's going to live on forever. And you know what's going to happen? People are going to listen to him and they're going to go, you took him away from us. You took him away from us. And then they're going to start, because they're only watching Charlie because they go, his ideas make sense. Why do his ideas make sense? Well, because he thinks them through, because he's a critical thinker. And that's why he can't be assailed on them. And that's why the majority of the arguments against him are logical fallacies. But he knows that, so he dismantles them. What do you think that is going to do for millions of people over generations? It's not like back in the day where you had Martin Luther King and you got some like grainy footage of him. You got this right there in 4K or 6K or 8K. And then you're going to have an army of people that go, I'm doing this because Charlie Kirk inspired me to do it. It is not going away. And to your point about how do you deal with the anger, like I say, get mobilized. Get a membership on here. Be a part of something. Build. Build something. Charlie Kirk, the reason why Charlie Kirk was such a threat to the left is because he had a vision of the future. How many times have I come on this channel and told people that Republicans are all about what they shouldn't do and all about cancelling and all about being reactive to the left? Why aren't we positive? Well, Charlie Kirk was. Charlie Kirk built Turning Point. He gave people hope. He said to kids, you can do this. This is where you can be. Even people he disagreed with, he said to them, it's okay. Do me a favor, go and read this, go and do that. Isn't it funny? I'm going to bring up two things that I saw recently. Did you see the Patrick Bet-David thing where he's sitting down with that girl and she says, I have mental illnesses and I can't get a doctor, and I have physical illnesses that I can't see a specialist for. And he says, I'll pay for a specialist. I'll pay. And she goes, you will? And he goes, yeah. And I'll tell you this is what left doesn't understand. That wasn't a bullshit move from him. He meant it. He meant it. Because the conversion of one heart to the truth means everything to us. And then did you see what he said? But only if you'll go and see a recommended doctor, a recommended mental health doctor. And what did she say? Tell me what she said. If you saw it, tell me what she said. So don't forget, this guy is going to cure her physical ailments by paying for her to go to a doctor. She cannot see a doctor because she doesn't have the money. And he says, I will give you it all. I'll tell you what she says. No. See you, Tanya. She says, no. I don't want it. What? And you all know. Yeah, Lisa, she says, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. And I'm like, the reason why he wants to send you a certain doctor, because he doesn't want to send you to a doctor that's going to pump you full of pills and tell you, everything's okay. Even to that point. No. Now, so think about that. Even to their own, that benefits them, their own self-interest, they won't do it. And it was a perfectly reasonable thing to say. If someone said to me, hey, listen, I'll give you a Ferrari, but all I need you to do is make sure that you park it on your driveway every night. I'll be like, okay. I wouldn't go, I'm not doing that. What if I want to go and park it on the street? Blah, 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 blah. Do you see where I'm coming from with this? Then Konstantin Kisin goes down. Same thing. If you haven't seen this video, please go and watch it on Trigonometry. They're doing some of the best stuff right now on the internet. And I hope one day that with people with their memberships, we can grow to something like that. But we're going to do it like this. I've told you, and I was right. You know I'm right, and I'm going to do it like this. I don't care. I'm sticking to my guns. He goes down and talks to the people outside the migrant hotels in Canary Wharf in London. And he goes over to the left and he says, I've got a platform. Do you want to tell me what you're protesting about? What do they say? Have you seen it? He goes to the lefties that are like, meow, 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 meow. Because that's what they sound like to me. And they say, no, I don't want to talk to you. And he says, and the one woman, it's really fascinating. The one woman who's a journalist comes over and she goes, do you feel safe? Is he okay? And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like talking to the woman. We're fine. No, do you feel safe? And then guess what happens? They go to the other side, which is a bunch of these right-wing maniacs, right? And they go, yeah, I'll talk to you. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, it's right there. It's right there. It's right there. They want to shut you up. They tried it with like I said earlier, the pronouns. Excuse me, come into my office. Yeah, I need you to put your pronouns on your emails. Why? Because it's company policy. Why don't you want to? I had this with certain roles they'd send me, and they go, because it'd be a lot of money, right? They'd send me these things, and I'd go, I'm not doing that. Why, Matt? Why? And now I'm like, I don't want to do gay sex on screen. I don't know. I don't want to do that. Okay? No, I don't give a shit. I'm going to tell you. I don't want to do that because I don't want my kids to see that. I don't want to do it because it's abhorrent anyway. I don't want to do it. Get someone else. By the way, isn't that cultural appropriation? Why don't you just go and get a gay guy to do it? Like, knock yourself out. The hypocrisy is coming to an end. But again, guys, it comes to an end when you decide it does. I'm looking down right now, see if there are any questiones. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I want you guys to go and see that and support those guys. Like, click support, and understand what we're doing here. Like I said, I mean, go and have a look at the pillow. Go buy the pillow if you got a bad neck. I'm really bad at this. I hate it, and this is one of the things that I recognize from this. Is actually I hate self-promotion. I really, really hate it. It feels just so. It's really icky to me. But you kind of have to do it, else you don't move forward. Unless people out there share, like, subscribe, and build it up. And I found, that if I didn't ask, did you see the other day, by the way, I put that post up, I was like, I'm not asking anymore. And everyone was like, I never saw you ask. I don't understand how nobody could have seen me ask that. And about subscribing. And if they don't, then I am being stymied one way or the other. So I'm asking you guys for your help to spread the word. And if you're on here and you got a membership that was gifted from somebody else, re-up it, please. Re-up it. Let's get this movement going. Let's build this. And then I can build a bigger platform. I can have more people in. But I told you, I want to get to that 18,000. And I'm not going to change anything until I get to that 18,000. Because that's a watershed. And don't abandon me next week when I go and get my neck done, right? Don't you go off with another woman, man, person on YouTube. I'm joking, but not really. So anyway, guys, and by the way, here's the other thing. I went to church today, And while I was at church, I saw a kid go past and he was wearing a long grey jacket, like trench coat. And I was like, so I took my wife in and I said, listen, I'm going outside. I saw a kid with a long trench coat. Like, and there was part of me inside that was like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you? And then something said, no, get out there and protect the church. And so I walked outside. I actually spent the majority of Mass today outside of church. And I guess what I'm saying is this isn't over. So please don't suppress those thoughts you have when you see something not right. Like if it's 100 degrees and someone's wearing a trench coat, I mean, you've all seen the movies. So, pay attention to that. I also do, by the way, and it also could be some emo kid, but unfortunately now, like, you don't have the luxury of being the emo kid that walks around like that, right? Everyone's going to look at you and go, I also want to I'm going to give this right now. My buddy, if he's on here right now, don't know if he is, Charles Abide, my friend Dave, and his beautiful, beautiful wife Rachel had a baby the other day. Had a baby. And you know what's funny? He sent a picture of him and his wife, and his wife looks like she just got out of a spa. You know what I mean? And she's there like that with the baby. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, she just gave birth and she looks amazing. But he's one of the great guys. His brother was the one. This is what I love. His brother was the one that turned around to me and said, Matt, listen, I want to support you. And he came in and bought a big box of merch with the woolen hats that I have and the T-shirts with the big M's on the back. And they're right here, actually, in my office. And he was like, we got to support our own. And I was like, and that to me, like, I do it anyway. I support my guys anyway. But that to me was like, he did it without me asking or saying anything. He just said, I want to give. And him and his brother, they're twin brothers. They are two of the greatest guys I've met. And it's just so great. I'm going to give him more props. So congratulations to the Abide family. And again, by the way, I'm racist because they are of Lebanese descent. So, I mean, how I can be friends with them, being a right-wing religious maniac racist, white supremacist? Don't know. Zephyr, yeah, I did have a link to the merch. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to support the community, and there was a guy who was a firefighter that has a T-shirt manufacturing company or T-shirt thing off to the side. And I saw these T-shirts. Honestly, my buddy brought them around and they were like a little bit feel a little bit like Lycra-ish. Like they got a little bit of stretch in it. I was like, these feel fantastic. Like they're really, really good quality. And, unfortunately, when you get really good quality, it's a little bit more expensive, but they're really worth it. And I got the sweatshirts as well. And the sweatshirts are badass because they've got a big M on the back, but you wouldn't know unless you know. Because I didn't want like Matthew Marsden. So the M, like the M that's up here, look. There you go, look. That M, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know. Joan Lovelace, you know what? Joan Lovelace sniffs out the end of the show every time, and she's like, no, I will not go quietly into the night. I will give Matt the memberships. Joan Lovelace gifts 20 Matthew Marsden channel memberships. So Fluffy Pencil, King Alfred's US Descendant, Carad 2008, Jackie Delaney, Papa Chubby Chubby, Papa Chubby Chubby Chubby, Papa Chubby Chubby, Randy V, Bro JMR, Jared Cook, Karen Naropa Baker, Mr. 8658, Joseph JB Wolf Bragg Jr., Drew, Moogle 1, Al McNeil, Mary, Tom, Josiah Rises. I'm sure Joan does this just to make me like read out a ton of names. I'm sure of it. Old Man Hatfield, McShizzle in the Hizzle, Trevor Colt MC gets one. Look at that. Trevor Colt MC gets a membership. I'm going to have a word with him. He's got to re-up his own membership. I'm telling you, that's just not acceptable. And the most awesome, and may I say beautiful, Joan Lovelace, ladies and gentlemen. She gets the Sparkly Lion. And Lisa Birch is in the house. She's like, no, not just you. Not just you. I shall gift 5 memberships too. Thank you so much, Lisa Birch. Juliet. Oh, hang on a minute. And Tina Guzman as well. There's lots of gifts. People are like, it's a love fest right now on the show. Juliet gets what you get, by the way. I'm just going to give out like sparkly lines now, you guys. It's gone crazy. You guys are just too generous. So Lindy, this is from Lisa F. Lindy. Lindy. That's kind of cool. Is it Lindy or Lindy? Sol123, Annie Oakley, Chris S. You all got memberships from the most awesome, and by the way, beautiful Lisa Birch. I'm going to give you some more sparkly lines. By the way, I see my friend Cringe Panda is in the house. Please go over and support Cringe Panda. She is awesome. Cringe Panda will tell you, I told her a long time ago that we were trying to do this and this is the way to do it. And she was like, I get it. I understand. She is awesome. Very grateful for your friendship, Cringe Panda. And Frenchie Maffey is gifted a membership from Tina Guzman, and you get the sparkly light. It sparkles everywhere. Trevor Colt's actually in the house. How you doing, Trev? I'm watching from bed. Really? Anyway, on that note, look, how can I, after a really tragic week, we're going to end on a high, right? Because I think that God is good all the time. All the time. And the way that we react to these things, the way that we respond to them is what makes us Americans and Brits. The way we respond to it. And we're different to these other people. We're different to these people that laugh. We're different to these people who celebrate. But we can be joyful warriors. We can love God. We can have sad hearts because of what we've lost. But the victory is already won, guys. And now it's up to us to participate. Happy warriors. Have a great night, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to put you over my knee and spank you, Joan Lovelace. She did it again, look, right at the very end. Joan Lovelace, love you, Matthew and chat. Love you right back. And this is a great community, and I am so blessed that you're in my life. On that note, good night.